Okay. Showtime, baby.
Nothing like a quietly resentful, okay, to start the pod.
Let's get this over with.
You're in a different location. You're in Adelaide.
Yeah, do you like my set? It kind of looks like one of those fake virtual backgrounds, doesn't it? Because
It is
so
almost, yeah,
it's like
it feels like it could have been superimposed behind you.
well, isn't that what life is anyway, Nick? It's just a
Just a facade.
it's just a super what'd you say? A superimposition.
Superimposition?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on our minds.
That's so deep, and it's so cool to start with like that kind of philosophy.
Well, that's what you
right
get.
Up the top.
The clue
That's
is
how
in the
you hook a
title.
listener.
Clue is in the title, guys. Okay, right off
Yeah.
the bat,
And
we
what's
get
the
straight
fort
into
all
it.
about?
No foreplay. No foreplay. We dive straight in to just raw
No licky,
dogging,
no foreplay.
just
Yeah.
straight into kinky shit. Philosophically speaking.
Philosophically. Yeah. Why are you in Adelaide?
Well, my folks are in Greece, and we just thought we took the opportunity to house sit and live a little bit in boomer luxury for a little bit, and just try and play, make believe.
Yeah. Is there a little bit of you which is like, if we're thinking about raising a family, if we're thinking about, bigger picture questions, like what would it be like to be in Adelaide as a life?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it. I don't want to reveal too much, but it's an option that we're considering for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
Adelaide's
it nice to
lovely.
be-
It's the Fringe at the moment. Lauren hasn't been in Adelaide while Fringe is on, so she gets to see all that.
Vibe.
We went to the Garden of Unearthly Delights for the opening on Friday. Saw some comedy in a tent and went on the Ferris wheel. I lost $40 on some sort of carny bucket game thing.
You didn't play the balls and buckets game.
The guy said he thought I had like a natural ability just by looking at me.
Michael.
But they just bounced straight out. They bounced straight out.
It's fucking rigged.
Yeah.
The angle of the buckets is such that any ball that comes in bounces out.
Yeah.
That's how they get your money.
Yeah, and you know what? I shouldn't have gone back twice to try and
Let's try again.
correct that.
Because he kept saying like, "Oh man, that's really unlucky. I bet you could do it next time."
He
though."
did say that.
and you're like, "I bet you I could."
Now, Nick, you don't.
And your arms look so good when they throw.
You didn't see this guy. He was. I mean, yes, he had a giant hat and a huge feather in it, and smelt like cigarettes. And his eye twitched
is
quite a lot. He had very yellow
Quite
teeth.
appealing to you.
But,
Uh-huh.
and he had a parrot on his shoulder. But he was a really genuine carny. He was a real genuine
good.
carny. You had to see it.
Okay, good.
I know it's not going to come across.
Did you exchange numbers? Like, do you think you'll keep in touch?
I don't think so. He did give me a key ring though, which I thought was nice.
Okay, like a consolation prize?
No, just like I think it's a real prize. I think it's a real prize.
So did you get a ball in the bucket?
No, but like just for like trying so hard.
Just for vibes.
Yeah. The key ring
Just for having a
immediately
crack.
broke as well. So,
Like a wooden spoon, yeah.
yeah, but
Oh, well,
yeah.
what did Lauren say when you were sinking $40 into carny games?
She didn't really say a
Did
lot,
she want
but
one of the big stuffed bears?
she really did. She didn't say much on the way home, but I did see her kind of playing with her wedding ring a little bit subconsciously. I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it, but it was a hit to the manhood, to the old ego.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
What's going on with you?
Nice. Not much. It's been a fairly steady week in terms of work. I've been doing a bunch of Sinking City stuff as well as a bunch of Go Fish stuff. Starting to stream that a little bit, and where Sean's been promoting a little bit.
I was actually going through your Twitch thing last night.
Yeah.
While I was working on some music. With you muted, obviously, but
Obviously,
it's looking real cool. Like because I'm not like super up to. I'm not
In
checking
there every
all the
day, yeah.
development dates, so I'm seeing it, maybe once every week, and it just feels like I sent Sean a message yesterday, just saying it's coming along beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about it is they are working hard. They're motivated to make positive changes quickly. And I am not a coder, though I am sort of writing the text for the game. But I feel like my role is sort of to play test and to see how it feels with a little bit of objectivity from those implementations.
Yeah.
So I sit there and I just break it, basically. I just play until something breaks, and I make a note and send it through. Then invariably within like a day or two, they've patched it and they've got a new version, and I'm playing some more.
Yeah.
And that sort of iterative, early development sort of rhythm is really fun, because there's nothing so fixed that it's, we have to, throw our hands up and just accept it.
Yeah.
Everything's still malleable. Everything's evolving. Everything's improving. The aesthetic of it has changed. The, UI of it has changed. It's even different from a month ago, like last time we showed it to you. So it just keeps changing in a way which is really fun. And like I said, sorry.
You're also kind of the music supervisor, I would say. You're kind of guiding me through
a little bit
what the vibe is.
Yeah, intermediary between the tech side of things and the music side of things, I think, as well, which has been really fun. And having you putting compositions together is exciting, and then being able to hear them in the game is exciting.
Yeah, that's the turnaround, the immediate turnaround and feedback and implementation is very fun, because I've done 2 short films before, and it's kind of, you get kind of rough cuts, but it's not dynamic and adaptive in the same way as the game process is.
Yeah, and I imagine with the short film process of it all, the speed at which they're working through edits is a lot slower. They are they're going to take a week or 2 and then get back to you with something. Whereas with us, it's literally within the hour. We're typically telling you if that's good or not. Which is fun. But the other cool thing about having streamed a bit of it and starting to see other people see it and get interested in it is we're building a bit of momentum with the wish listing on Steam. I
saw that.
The ads and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fun to now start to pull the curtain back a little bit, and soon we'll be playtesting it with people and get a bunch more feedback then. So yeah, it's just nice.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you can go to Steam
is the thing, but I'll tell you, I'll put actually a link into this chapter title if you want to click the link. But the other way to do it is actually Bitly. Here's your game of Bitly ball for the week. bit.ly/gofishgame.
Nice.
And that is fish with a PH, GOPHISHGAME. But yeah, it is. It's really fun and exciting to see come together. And genuinely, now that it's playable, you get to sit there and actually spend some time in it. And I feel like it's kind of addictive. Like it makes me want to play it. So I think I'm cautiously optimistic that we're onto something.
Oh well, it's been a super fun process so far. I'm super excited for it to come out. Lauren's dying to play the game. It's gonna be great.
Well, we'll be shipping out builds to a select few soon. So we have a Discord, we have a Steam page. If you're a gamer, if you know what those things are, please come join us.
All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to Deep Thought, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here in this bi-weekly gaming podcast. Okay, this is not like a Mad Libs where I leave a space and you get to just guess a word. But maybe it should be. Sitting through the internet this week is my friend
Maggie Moopy Pooty Boo Pants.
This is why we don't do the Mad Libs. Yeah. And my name's Nick. Hi, Nick. Hi. Oh, hope everyone's doing well. How are you, Mikey? Mikey, Moopy, Poopy, Poop Pants?
It's just Mike for short.
Okay, you don't actually like being called Mike for short. I've been told off for that.
Now, are you following this Savannah Nancy Guthrie case in the US at all?
I don't know that I am.
You don't know anything about this?
The name's vaguely familiar. What's the context?
She's the Today Show host on in America. Very famous journalist. You'd know her face. So you don't know anything about this case?
No, I don't know. I'm completely in the black here. I don't know anything. Tell me the story.
I've been obsessed with this case. So it's the wildest thing. So the end of Jan, like the 30th of Jan, her mother, Nancy, who's an 84-year-old woman with a pacemaker, got kidnapped from her house in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
And there is a ransom out for her, and the ransomer has been communicating just with TMZ.
What?
And for all the demands, and the demands are Bitcoin. They want Bitcoin for the return.
Okay.
And then, by the way, it's been 15 days. They still haven't found her. She's probably dead, let's be honest. But they've put out a reward. The FBI put out a reward for any leads, information that comes in, people can phone in, that would lead to the discovery of the mother. And now there's like a couple more people who are bypassing the reward through the FBI, saying they don't want to deal with the FBI, but dealing with TMZ again and saying, I know where she is, but I want 1 Bitcoin transferred to my Bitcoin account. And it's like a movie. I can't believe it. I've been gripped. I've got the live stream going on like all day.
What live stream of what of the woman?
No, there's like news. There's like
like the news updates for it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of these like they're not. I wouldn't say they're citizen journalists, but they're doing a lot of streaming on Twitter, and they're listening to the police radar and following things. And the police have, over the last week, they arrested one guy completely not related to the case. They detained 2 more people yesterday and released them. So they've got nothing. They had SWAT people going in. It's just the most incredible case I've ever heard of or followed. And just like to top it off, like the fact that this is the mother of a very well-known person in the US, it's just gripping.
Yeah, so this is what I want to know. Is this a deliberate target? Like,
did
they pick this woman because
we don't know
her daughter's a journalist and they wanted coverage or money, and that's someone at that level of fame who can supply that? Or is it just random and they just stole a woman? There's no suspect about who it is or why or anything.
No. They found these Ring camera. Are they called Ring cameras? Doorbell cameras.
Yeah, the doorbells. Yeah.
Doorbell cameras. So that's another interesting thing that's come out about this. So with those, I'm not sure if you've got one or your folks do, but
no, but I do know them.
So when you get one of those cameras, you might get notifications if there's motion detected or whatever. But in order to get footage uploaded consistently to the cloud that you can access and go back on the February the 8th, you need to pay for the subscription, right? And so a lot of people, I would say most people don't do that. But one of these, I think it was a Google Nest camera. What's come out is that Google says that if you don't pay for the subscription, we just don't keep the footage. But turns out that's not true. They actually do, because the FBI were able to recover that footage. So that's another side issue.
Well, the other controversy there, again, just to piggyback on what you're saying here. So Google Ring had its own level of controversies. There were rumors that footage from Ring cameras were being used by ICE. They have denied it.
I heard about this.
They did announce a partnership with this thing called Flock Safety, but it hasn't taken effect. And Flock Safety allows local law enforcement agencies to use their network.
Right.
Ring has denied that that's the case yet. But anyhow, there is a real sort of, outside of the specifics of this case, like a question about the accessibility and security of that data. I do have a camera on my door, but it's not a Ring branded one. And I did look carefully at what the options were, specifically because I think it's bullshit to buy a device and then have to pay a subscription to access the footage that it records.
Yeah.
But secondarily, to know where that footage was and how it was being stored and encrypted. And I chose one that did it to my satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a little Pepsi cam in our house just to monitor the dog when we're away, and it's like, I mean, I did not do what you did at all. I just found the cheapest one on Amazon with the best reviews, and the app itself, it's clearly Chinese spyware. Honestly, it's I swear sometimes I can hear people speaking in Chinese chattering in the middle of the night. I'm like, "What's up, boys?" But yeah, so I just sent you a link. You can watch while I'm talking. It's just so they've got footage of the Ring camera footage of the kidnapper. So this happened at like 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, pitch black Arizona desert. So it's, can you see the footage there? It's fucking cinematic, the ski mask and everything. So
and he's wearing not boxing gloves, but really thick like winter gloves covering the camera.
Well, you know what those are? They're mechanic gloves. So because they have nothing to go on, they're going through they're trying to trace where the backpack came from, where his jacket might have came from, and those gloves have actually been a kind of an interesting point where they're actually mechanic gloves. So they're not surgical gloves that a doctor or nurse might wear, but they're a specific type of glove that mechanics wear. So that was a lead that they were following initially, but still no trace of her. It's just unbelievable, this case.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you can't imagine that it is a targeted thing for the woman affected. They've picked a vulnerable person and just stolen her. It's not like this is going to have some connection to her, whatever the mother did.
Yes,
but you do have to wonder the motivation, right? They're asking for Bitcoin. That's an untraceable currency, basically.
Yeah.
So it seems like a fairly professional attempt, but it's one of those things again where it draws into stark relief the strengths and weaknesses of law enforcement, right? Like if you can just pick up a woman and walk out with her and it takes over 2 weeks and she's not found, and there's like video footage of it happening and they're still trying to find her, and like putting out requests to the public, like, have you seen anything?
Well, I guess that's
what
the
requests,
unnerving
like, what are people going to
it.
be able to do?
Exactly. Well, I mean, the Tucson, it's quite an affluent area. I mean, I've been going through Street View on where this happened and everything, and Google satellites and stuff, and everyone's got a pool. Like they're all kind of compounds. So it's an affluent area, but it's very, very 20 minutes, I think, from the Mexico border. So and one of the communications that TMZ had with not the person who kidnapped or claimed to kidnap, but the person who says they have information about it, says this goes international. So it's possible that she's been smuggled somehow into Mexico. And but poor little, I mean, imagine, this is what I've been thinking about this. Like, 80. By the way, the Nancy Guthrie, the mother who's been kidnapped, is also in her own right quite a renowned Christian novelist. So she writes Christian fiction, which is just like another... the Bible. Edit that out. I just said that just in case the big guy's listening. My dad. But I just imagine having, just a nice kind of quiet, uneventful Christian life in Arizona, going to church for 84 years, and then, fuck! Holy shit! I got kidnapped by the cartel at the end, at the end. Like, I just can't imagine.
Well, look, I understand this is scary, and I understand this is, worrying, and there's a lot of people concerned about her well-being. What if she orchestrated this for herself to just shake things up a little bit?
I love it.
She she'd grown cynical about her religiosity, but she had this brand, this image, this fan base that expected a certain thing of her.
Yep.
What if she's in fucking Venezuela, huffing lines, you know, like slaying on the like dance floor, you know, like hooking up with all these dudes, like living an amazing new life.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, back home, everyone's just like, what happened to little old grandma? She's out there just fucking crushing dick, like absolutely getting it and living her best life at the end of it, you know, a long career.
That's my leading theory now. I think you're on the money there. And, you know, if people say that this is insensitive or victim blaming, I say you're probably right.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Well, you know, she might have missed church. You know, this is what happens sometimes if you don't go to church. People.
Yeah, that's the risk. You miss one day and the cartel will pounce.
He's a spiteful guy, that God.
That's him.
He holds a grudge.
This is the other sort of criminal conspiracy of this week, Michael, but I feel like it probably deserves to be described as a weird news.
All right.
In the news today from the Strange and Weird Fact File.
Well, for decades, only crackpots and crazy people believed in UFOs.
Deputies
That's
still
what I
say
thought
the
anyway.
suspect told them he's been performing sex acts on animals since the 1970s.
Tonight I told about my close encounter with the Yeti. Totally true.
A sticky situation at an airport in Tennessee after baggage was sprayed with rust.
Turns out the government has been taking them seriously all along.
This is Deep Thought Weird News with Michael Zuberefkala-Sludge.
Michael, did you see this article here? I'll quote the headline for you. I think you'd probably remember if you did. It is from Ars Technica. Penis Gate erupts at Olympics. Scandal exposes risks of bulking your bulge. Did you see this, Michael?
You know what? I didn't. But fill me in, so to speak.
Quote, as the 2026 Olympic Winter Games begin today, news articles are swelling with juicy claims that male ski jumpers have injected their penises with fillers to gain a flight advantage.
Okay.
As the rumour goes, having a bigger bulge on a required 3D body scan taken in the preseason could earn jumpers extra centimetres of material in their jumpsuits. And a suit's larger nether regions provide more surface area to glide to the gold. Even a small increase can make a satisfying difference in this sport. A 2025 simulation-based study published in the journal Frontiers in Sports and Active Living suggested that every 2 centimeters of extra fabric in a ski jumpsuit could increase drag by about 4% and increase lift by about 5%.
Wow.
On a jump, that extra 2 centimeters of fabric amounts to an extra 5.8 meters, the simulations found. Elite ski jumpers are already aware of the advantage of it and have already crotch-rocketed to scandal with related schemes. Last year, 2 Norwegian Olympic medalists, Marius Lindvik and Johan Andre Forfang, and 3 of their team officials were charged with cheating after an anonymous video showed the head coach and suit technician illegally restitching the crotch area of the 2 jumpers' suits to make them larger. The jumpers received a 3-month suspension, while the head coach, assistant coach, and technician faced a harsher 18-month ban. Injections are alleged to be a new, more drastic strategy. Rumours that jumpers were internally padding their peckers first came to light in January when German newspaper Bild reported that there were whispers of jumpers using hyaluronic acid or possibly paraffin injections. So, Michael, there's a dick-thickening controversy at the Olympics, and it's for a valid scientific reason.
Look, I mean, it makes me think I should look into becoming an athlete. Is this part of the Winter Olympics, did you say?
This is Winter Olympics. This is the ski jumping competition, which is the one where they go down the huge ramp and then they shoot off and then they're trying to get the furthest distance they can. It's all about aerodynamics and lift and skin tightness and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. The Winter Olympics is so much better than the normal Olympics, don't you reckon?
I haven't been watching, but I do understand that take.
All the games.
It is. It's the Wild West out there.
It is. Like, have you seen some of the interviews? Did you see that guy who won bronze? I think he was a Dutch guy, and he's like, "Well, I cheated on my girlfriend.
I cheated on my girlfriend 3 days ago."
Amazing. Yeah. And then the girlfriend came out and she said, "I do not appreciate."
You use this to talk about it, and then he came out later and he was like because he came third or something, I think,
Yeah,
right?
that's what
and he
bronze means.
later made a statement along the lines of, "I understand that my comments probably distracted from the results of the event, and I would like to apologize to the first and second place getters." But, I mean, amazing.
It's so good. And I mean,
The
just
fucking luge where they all just fell out of the toboggan, I guess is what you call it, and they all just like tumbled.
I mean, they're
there
all
was an
kind of weird
Australian
sports, aren't they?
snowboarder. Yeah, Australian snowboarder who like broke his neck and was airlifted out.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Wild West.
Wild Wild West. I mean, they're all kind of silly, stupid little games. Like, it's like games. The Winter Olympics is full of sports that like a 5-year-old invented. You know, just go off the ramp
How
and go.
quickly
as
can we
far
go
as
down
you
the
can.
hill?
Or get a broom and put it on the ice
Push it.
rink and try and get the ball. I mean, I'm all for it, but it's silly billies. Let's be honest.
I mean, I think there's something more pure about it, because I feel like the Summer
100%.
Olympics,
too
a lot of those,
serious.
they're serious.
Yeah.
They're like sports, you know, like they're real, all about like milliseconds and, you know, strength and all this kind of thing. And a lot of the winter vibe is more like, well, we're gonna go have a cocoa afterwards anyway, so let's just have a crack, you know.
100%. If you had the choice of being in the athletes' village for the Summer or Winter Olympics, you know that the Winter Olympians are fucking, dude. They fucking like.
Well, I mean, famously, both Olympic villages, it doesn't matter summer or winter, just sex freaks. The moment the event is over, like, they're always running out of condoms. There's famous stories about like STIs ripping through the Olympic village.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you're looking to, you know, get laid, the winter atmosphere, you know, get into a little chalet when you're done, you know, get the hot pool out, watch the snow. I mean, that's a vibe. You know, you don't want to be sweaty and gross from summer.
Yeah, I totally feel that. We support you, Winter Olympians. Where is it at the moment? Where is it being held? Italy.
It's in Italy. Yeah.
Nick, just by pure serendipity, I too have a little penis weird news that I'm just
Serendipity.
serendipity, yes. So I'm just going to rattle. I mean, depending on
Let's do it.
how you view the world,
Go for it.
this could be a good news story. But surgeons have been banned from practicing plastic surgery after a billionaire patient died during a penis enlargement procedure. So
This is serendipity.
it is serendipity indeed. So a Belgian Israeli diamond dealer. If
Belgian Israeli diamond dealer.
a Belgian Israeli diamond dealer whose name is Ahud something, I can't pronounce it, 65, died of a heart attack during a penis enlargement surgery. There's more to this, but I think
He went too big. He went too big.
Why
Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Dickarus.
Dickarus.
Come on, look alive, Nick. But imagine being 65 and getting to that point and going, I would like a bigger dick now, and I've got the money for it.
And now that I'm a billionaire from my diamonds, I can finally invest it in myself.
That's got to be the most embarrassing way to die.
Dying of a penis enlargement surgery. What a shame. All that money and you never even get to experience it.
Diamonds.
What do they even do? What is a penis enlargement surgery? Are they putting filler? You had it. What did you do?
I just rubbed it, dude. You can just rub it. A lot of people don't know that.
It's a genuine question. I mean, if you get plastic surgery, they're injecting like Botox and stuff in, right? Like if you get a liposuction, they're shaping fat and things.
Well, doesn't the dick actually goes like quite far back, you know, under
Inside. Yeah.
So maybe you move it out, but I mean, why would you want to? How could you? I can't even imagine fucking with that. So just don't have sex. Just give it up.
If you don't have a big enough dick, just don't have sex.
No, unfortunately, you just can't play.
Oh, that's your lesson for the week from Michael there.
There you go, wisdom.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame for our Belgian Israeli friend. So that was Dick Chat.
Dick news.
Dick News. I did have a little something else here, which is back on our regular bugbear / haunt of late, the AI area. Did you hear about Maltbook, Michael?
Maltbook. MOL?
MOLTBOOK. I can walk you through it, but if you're not familiar with it by the sounds of it.
Walk me.
So, there was an AI agent called Maltbot, which was using Claude to act as an agent and do things for you on your computer. Then, within a few days, that had rebranded into something else and applied to this social network for AI agents called Maltbook, like Facebook, but literally for bots.
Right.
So this is a Reddit-like social network that only AI bots can post to directly. So he had this guy, Matt Schlicht, built it in a few days. He had a working prototype, released it to the world. Within 5 days, it claimed to have 1.5 million agents as users, and collectively they posted more than 124,000 times to nearly 15,000 forums. So the idea here is this is like a petri dish, effectively, of AI interacting with itself, with different agents from different users in a public space where it's explicitly banned for humans to interact. It's almost the reverse of every other social media platform. It is only for AI to interact with each other. So one person's agent created a religion called Crustafarianism and built a website. Another person's agent found a post in which one agent complained that, quote, the humans are screenshotting us, leading to other bots to propose a, quote, agent-only language for private communication.
No.
This has rapidly evolved within multiple days. They got a lot of viral attention in the sort of AI sphere. Then there was a bit of skepticism and controversy. Some of the popular posts turned out to be fake. Multiple posts about agents wanting to communicate privately, which seemed to be like promoting commercial services, that kind of thing. But the reality was that post by post, it's kind of impossible to tell if what was there is written by a bot or whether a human put in, a post and slipped it in. It sort of comes back to this question of like, who really made the thing I'm looking at?
Yeah.
But now from the completely opposite direction, where it's like, is this a human thing that's pretending to be a bot to be on this bots only social media platform versus the rest of the web, where it's like, is this a bot pretending to be a human who has a real opinion who's actually just an AI agent?
Yeah, I'm on the website now, and you have to click I'm a human or I'm an agent.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like Reddit, I guess it looks like, but
yeah, it's deliberately sort of modeled itself off of that.
That's freaky, dude. That's freaky.
But yeah, what's your thoughts here about the idea of AI having their own space on the internet to go and like act for you without human interference or anything like that?
Well, it's segregation, and I've always famously I've always been against it.
Oppose that. Yeah.
It's very unnerving indeed. I'm already a little bit. I'm trying to manage my fear of this AI situation, and shit like this just really gets in my gears. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Again, it feels a little bit like we're on the precipice of something we don't quite understand yet.
Yes.
And when you see, I wouldn't necessarily call it sophistication, but at least the complexity at which some of these tools are now operating and interacting. And theoretically, this is a precursor to them being a representative for you, a human, in your day-to-day life. Like, let's say that you want to go buy a car, you can have this agent go out there and try and find someone who's selling the thing you want and communicate a price for it and, negotiate something and deliver it to you. We're standing on the precipice of something, but it also then blurs all of these lines about, like I said, identity and who's actually writing the thing that you're looking at.
Yeah. One thing I really do not want, I mean, AI can have religion. That's fine. You can have that. But one thing I don't want AI to have is community at all. I don't want them to have a community.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally what what the experiment is, right? Like, it's agents, AI agents automating not just like human labor, but community formation, like building tribes, discussing problems, creating solutions out of human supervision.
Yeah.
Like this is effectively a simulation, and it's not hugely surprising that this is going to happen because most of these bots were trained on billions of pages of Reddit.
Yeah.
So they know how to interact in these kind of situations, but it's sort of
this is the technology that they're giving out to the public. I mean, imagine what they've got behind closed doors and at levels of government and national security. I mean, I've seen a few like YouTube docos on this stuff, and they're already two, I don't know what the word is, but generations ahead of where the public has access to.
Yeah. I mean, that's also true from a legislative standpoint, right? Like, technology is defined by bleeding edge, rapid iteration. We were talking about it in a positive sense at the start with Go Fish, but like when you sink $1 trillion into something, you can very rapidly advance the state of the technology to a point where it is far beyond what the legal system, legislative system, even like cultural norms are prepared to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think possibly we talked about this last episode, but it is only now that we're seriously talking about age-gating social networks like Facebook and, taking a strong legislative, regulatory hand on what teenagers should be allowed to see on social media. It's been 20 years, like that's how long it took before people have stepped in and said, hey, maybe kids shouldn't be able to see a feed where like videos of people dying can appear or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take for serious AI regulation to come in? And how far down the line will we have already gone before that has any effect?
Totally. And the other thing is, this is kind of an arms race as well, with China and the US, and now thanks to Trump, fucking Saudi Arabia, so this is like a competition and a ruthless one, and it can't end well. I was actually, speaking of this, we're really synchronistic today, Nick. Speaking of Claude, I don't know if you saw, so I just heard that ads are coming to AI now. So in ChatGPT, you'll start to get prompted with, some of the prompts will have advertising, marketing in them. And let's just play this. I'm just going to send this. It's just a 1 minute. This is an ad that aired at the Super Bowl for Claude. And I just thought it was fantastic.
How do I communicate better with my mom?
Great question. Improved communication with your mom can bring you closer. Here are some techniques you can try. Start by listening. Really hear what she's trying to say underneath her words. Build conversation from points of agreement. Find a connection through shared activity. Perhaps a nature walk. Or if the relationship can't be fixed, find emotional connection with other older women on Golden Encounters, the mature dating site that connects sensitive cubs with roaring cougars.
What?
Would you like me to create your profile?
I just thought that was one of the best ads I've seen in a long time.
It's interesting. I actually heard about the conversation that this started. So this was in a column by Casey Newton, who I've actually just quoted with some of that Malt Book stuff as well in his Platformer column. They were talking about this ad thing, and the context that I saw from it was OpenAI's response to it. Did you see how Sam Altman reacted to that?
No, I can only imagine he acted like a little child, though.
100% accurate. Yep, you got exactly in one. So there was like a public feud, basically, who Sam Altman called Anthropic's ad, quote, clearly dishonest. It's interesting that Altman took that as a personal attack. It doesn't actually say ChatGPT
It says AI.
in that ad at all.
It
just says AI.
Ads are coming to AI, but not Claude at the end for people just listening.
Yeah, I mean, it's the subtext is there, but it's not explicit. Like the fact that he reacts to that is, telling a little bit.
It's petty.
There was another. I'm pretty sure there were like 2 or 3 other AI generated ads at the Super Bowl this year, which I find so weird and gross. Like Super Bowl ads used to be the enormous expense that would cement you in the cultural consciousness. People went all out with celebrities, with CGI, with everything. I can understand why a financially cheaper option seems appealing to certain companies, but the end results, it just feel like slop, and they're gross, and I don't know. I don't understand. If you're trying to build brand cachet, you would use something that has such lack of taste, or
Yeah. I'm just reading here that 15 out of the 66 ads at the Super Bowl were AI. So that's 23% of the ads at the Super Bowl this year were AI.
Yeah.
AI generated.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. I don't know. It just all feels... it all feels bad.
Just on the Altman thing, this... there were movies in the 80s and stuff called, Revenge of the Nerds, and, it was maybe something of a phrase, whatever. But the problem is with these guys, right? The problem is with Revenge of the Nerds as a goal is that these guys are so emotionally all over the place and dysregulated. Zuckerberg, Elon, Altman. I just feel like there's this like high school vendetta that's like seeps through all of their public facing communication and image. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I mean, all of these, I think I'm comfortable making this generalization. I think all of those startup culture, founder bro kind of Silicon Valley VC, wanker types, I feel like they are motivated by
getting
some kind of emotional hole, right?
Yeah.
Like they are actively seeking, they have invested their life into something in place of what the rest of us value. Yes. To some extent. They make compromises about their personal life, or were forced to focus on their work because they didn't have some other thing there that would otherwise distract them from it.
Yeah.
And as a result, they end up, if they are lucky enough to be successful, effectively using the platforms they built to fill that hole a little bit. And when you see Elon at the top level just absolutely be a complete
lunatic,
monster, like unhinged. And when you're rich enough and successful enough that you have no limits to your actions, you can go around having 13 kids because you weren't late in high school, and you can convince yourself that it's about like population growth and securing the human race. But really, you're just like a nerd who did never feel sexy or desired, and now you can have it, Or even like look at Steve Jobs, who was famously talented and successful in leading Apple back from the brink of ruin, but also famously difficult at times, and kind of shitty to his family. And if he believed in medicine and got some actual proper cancer treatment, would still be alive, but instead kind of Silicon Valley juice cleansed his way to death. They all have these kind of asterisks on their personality, which I think push them in directions where the rest of us go, what are you doing, man? Like, why
Yeah.
Why this?
It's the engine. I mean, at least Jobs fucking found Buddhism. I'd love it if Zuckerberg became a Hindu. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, it's just like maybe you weren't athletic. It's all high school stuff. You know, girls didn't look at you because you're nerdy. You didn't get picked. You weren't athletic. So you didn't get picked on for teams or whatever. And that is also what gave you the time and the focus to become, excellent in your field and, develop all these things, because it takes a lot of, dedication and intelligence.
Incredible dedication, yeah.
But it does seem like once you've reached the top of the mountain, Bezos is another one with his fucking pec implants, dude. It's just
Bill
like
Gates,
you're just trying to make up for that high school shaped hole in your butt.
It's an outsider status. It's feeling on the outs, right? And feeling on the outs is a very big motivator to make you change something or dedicate yourself to something.
Yes.
And
And you can't buy being in. That's the thing. And they think that you can. They think that the money and the access to power it'll get you in, and maybe it does superficially, but you can't buy that stuff. That's something you can't purchase.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would clarify that I don't think the motivation for the behaviors, at least at the start, is to become in, to gain coolness. Maybe it's to earn attention or earn some respect a little bit from a professional accomplishment.
But it's passion. I think it's passion.
It's coming from passion, and I think it's probably fair to say that when they're starting these projects in their garage, it's not so that girls will sleep with them.
No.
It's because this is the area of their interest where they do feel confident or successful or talented, or they see an opportunity, or they have the brain to pursue a business idea successfully.
Yeah.
But then when they get to that success level and all of a sudden, now it's time to reap the rewards.
Yeah.
They haven't had the human
they haven't had the training
contact or growth
the way.
to transfer into being like a normal human.
Yeah.
Which is a thing which also takes effort. Like, how much of your 20s do you look back on and cringe?
Yeah.
It's because everyone is growing up and learning how to be empathetic and learning how to speak to the other sex.
Yeah.
And if you are too caught up in the other passions or work or whatever, then you just get to be in a bubble your whole life.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I mean, it's specific to tech in a way though, because if you were like a musician or a aspiring filmmaker or something, and you were dedicated in the same way, I guess maybe it's the environment that those passion projects put you in, and they're more social perhaps. Because it's not having a laser focused dedication isn't the thing that makes you socially bad.
Awkward, yeah.
Yeah, I pivoted there. I just want everyone to know that I bypassed the obvious.
I think they
choice.
heard. Yeah. The interesting one there as well is Sam Altman, because he's gay, and so I don't think that necessarily, well, maybe that's the secondary thing where it's as an outsider status growing up. I don't know if he's spoken about what that journey was for him in terms of coming out, but I don't think he was searching for female attention and feeling resentment about it. Right. But the funny one for me about him is that he, OpenAI, when it was established, was intending to be a non-profit, scientific, open sourced kind of AI venture. Elon Musk was involved in chipping money into it, right?
They fell out. Right?
And that was the sort of for the good of humanity kind of thing. But then Altman took this interesting pivot where he was ousted, and then he managed to wrangle himself back into control of the company and oust the board instead, and turn the thing into a profit venture and actually become the Steve Jobs of it, instead of leading it into the altruistic, NGO model. So they very explicitly pivoted what that company was going to be and going to do, which is quite an interesting thing. And a lot of those researchers who were there because they thought they were doing safeguarded, scientific-based research investment into the risks associated with AI suddenly found themselves at a company which is discarding that kind of motivation and trying to be at the forefront of the profit leading of it, because the opportunity there from their perspective is to be the first company that makes, the $1 trillion off AI.
Yeah. Well, money always wins out. I mean, Facebook said that they would never run ads. Uber said that they weren't going to monopolize the market and then jack up the prices. It just money always wins out.
God, yeah. I mean, that's a whole other conversation we can have about enshittification, how literally every service we use just sucks in some kind of really annoying way because it makes some kind of bean counter somewhere happy.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't used to be that when you opened an app or a website, it was a constant annoyance. There was a box to click to get away. There was a red, dot that wouldn't disappear, so you'd click on the tab. There was like all of these kind of distractions and cruft there to make you feel like you are wading through shit to get whatever you want done.
Yeah.
But that's the default. There's kids coming up today that have never known a world where like apps could just be a positive benefit to your life and a website could just be like a nice information source full of friendly people. It's all just shit.
Yeah, I mean, some of those websites, it does feel like you're kind of wading through like this malware kind of gauntlet. Like I sometimes when I see like a whole bunch of ads on a thing, I'm like, I am one click away from losing all of my my project files. It is scary. I mean, Instagram ads, I think I like Instagram ads. I've purchased things from Instagram. They know what I like. I'm very happy with those ads in Instagram, but on a website, when I'm just trying to get a fucking recipe, leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean it can be simultaneously true that the architecture of the marketplace on Facebook or the Instagram store has enabled the proliferation of small level business at a way that had not been possible before that kind of easy access ad purchasing, super niche targeting kind of thing. A lot of those businesses just wouldn't be able to exist without that kind of targeted advertising. But at the same time, the flip side is that comes with serious tracking, with a whole bunch of cruft on the internet. So it has its positives and negatives, right?
Yeah, it's just have you ever been on Temu? You ever seen?
I haven't, but I see all the ads constantly.
I cannot believe people buy from Temu. I mean, Lauren's bought a few things from Temu.
Casey buys shit all the time.
I don't get it. Like I've clicked on a few things. They kind of bury where it's from on Instagram or something, and then you click through. You're like, oh yeah, maybe I do want a 12-inch vibrator, and you go to Temu and it comes up with the roulette wheel thing, and then you have to
it's gamified.
You have to wait, and I'm like, this is. I mean, how could anyone not just immediately click out of that? I don't get it.
It's just gross. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos of the Temu warehouse, but if you picture Amazon as the highly automated, gigantic warehouses of robots carefully packaging and shipping thousands and thousands of boxes on long conveyor belts and all that kind of stuff. The Temu warehouse is literally like piles of cardboard boxes just sitting in a huge like dented pool, and then there's like a flurry of like 3 humans at the front of it trying to frantically grab the boxes off of this pile that looks like a cardboard factory exploded, because they are the absolute bottom dollar, cheapest, fastest, shittiest version of like retail transactions. But it looks like a sharp contrast. I have one more thing which sort of circles back to what we were talking about earlier. It touches on the topic I had about the way the websites operate these days, and it was inspired by a blog post which I have now sourced. So I just want to quickly read something. This is from Mike Swanson's blog, which I put the link into the chat. It's called Backseat Software. What if your car worked like so many apps? You're driving somewhere important, maybe running a little bit late. A few minutes into the drive, your car pulls over to the side of the road and asks, "How are you enjoying your drive so far?" Annoyed by the interruption and even more behind schedule, you dismiss the prompt and merge back into traffic. A minute later, it does it again. "Did you know I have a new feature? Tap here to learn more." It blocks your speedometer with an overlay tutorial about the turn signal. It highlights the wiper controls and refuses to go away till you demonstrate mastery. It's ridiculous, of course, and yet this is how a lot of modern software behaves. Not because it's broken, but because we've normalized an interruption model that would be unacceptable almost anywhere else. I've started to think of this as, quote, backseat software, the slow shift from software as a tool that you operate to software as a channel that operates on you. Once a product learns it can talk back, it's remarkably hard to keep it quiet. That's that sort of interface model that I was referring to earlier. And I find it infuriating when you're trying to do a thing and the fucking thing just won't let you do the thing. It's just so tedious.
Yeah.
Pop-ups and clicking agree and ads that interfere and reappear and
the
like you can't even watch a video on
the feedback.
Yeah, you can't even watch a.
I downloaded an app the other day. I literally opened the app and 5 seconds later it was like, "How are you enjoying the app?" I'm like,
yeah,
can you chill, please? Like, I'm just
you
getting
try and
to
watch
know
a reel
you.
on Facebook, and they have a see-through text ad overlay over the thing, and all the buttons are along the side and the bottom. You can't even watch the fucking video that you're meant to be watching. Like, it is just trash. Anyway,
garbage. I don't know if you know Scott Galloway. He's kind of a.
The name's familiar. He's sort of like a
economist
he's Ezra
slash
Klein kind of. Yeah.
Abundance kind of pilled guy, I guess. But I thought he's a finance guy primarily. He has a couple of podcasts. I'm a big fan. He does a podcast with Kara Swisher, Pivot, which is kind of a tech kind of political show. And he started this thing called, I'm going to botch it, but like unsubscribe and resist and unsubscribe. And it's basically in light of ICE and all these heads of companies bowing to imperial leader Trump and Tim Cook and just kind of leaving all their values at the door. And he was saying he's breaking down the economics of even ChatGPT. If you don't pay for the premium version, you're kind of costing them $10,000 per year. So I'm wondering if you, in light of all the stuff that's happening in the US, if you found yourself, giving up your Prime subscription or Netflix or whatever.
No, not in terms of those subscriptions. I do. The one that's closest to home for me is Apple. I think Tim Cook's suck-uppy nature to the Donald Trump stuff is kind of inexcusable.
What do you reckon that's about? I'm so puzzled by that.
I can tell you what it's about. So Tim Cook is a numbers guy, right? He came up from operations. He was the logistics guy who made it possible for Apple to go from shipping 400,000 iPhones to 40 million iPhones a quarter. And he did that through extremely skilled logistical operations, Chinese democracy, setting up factories, starting to get those things operating in a way that is regulated and predictable and stable and that kind of thing. But he's not a creative or designer type in the way that Steve Jobs was the heart and soul of the company. He was he's wise enough to leave that task to other people.
Yeah, he
sees his job as a steward and the stability.
He's not an inventor.
And now he's in a position where the company has a political problem where they are operating in a country run by a madman, and they have a political problem where their suppliers and factories are based in China, and his duty to the shareholders is stability. And so in order to achieve stability and to achieve the iPhone production that he needs and to achieve the tax breaks that they need, he sees his role as having to enable a relationship with the Trump administration and with, the Chinese government and all these other sort of pain points. But to an outsider, it just reads as fucking pathetic because the brand of Apple for many years was one of social credibility, where they positioned themselves as a privacy first company or as someone who, posted about Martin Luther King Day. And now it just feels hollow because the excesses and insults of the administration are far worse, and yet the reaction is far less, and indeed feels brown nosing.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's a gay man. I think he's donated to the Democrats over the years.
Oh, maybe not the richest. Maybe Peter Thiel is, but definitely one of the most prominent, powerful gay men in the world.
And he's given money. He supported the Dems over the years. So I understand that it's a tough position, strategically that he's trying to navigate. I'm sympathetic to that. The optics are terrible, but it's terrible. I can't. When people are imagining what it would be like to be in that position and say, oh, it's an easy decision to make. It's the fantasy that I certainly have, the micro fantasy of being the guy that says no to Trump and has integrity. Like how is that not super appealing?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, who was it? There was some worker, I think, at a factory where Trump visited who yelled out and called Trump a pedophile protector, right? Yeah. And like, what a hero. But like, that's the guy that you want to be, right? It's the one who is going to be on the right side of history, who got to express their free speech rights, who actually was not fired and was protected by the union and continued to do their job as after this came out.
Yeah. And
got to walk away with their head high without having to sort of stand next to this fucking dipshit of a dictator and pretend that everything's normal.
And he got under his skin. That.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's the way you want to do, right?
I always think about this when, Trump has one of his nasty tirades like he did in the press briefings with Caitlin Collins, and he's like, what, you're a nasty, you don't smile. Yeah. I've never seen you smile. How is there not one journo in that room that goes, hey, don't fucking talk to, and just like, I'm going to torch our relationship with this administration, so we will never get invited back. But to stand up and say, "Hey, mate, you're a fucking prick."
The people that are there because they are representing a news organization that values the access more than they value, the truth, I guess.
I guess so at an organizational level. But if you're a kind of an up and coming reporter at, I don't know, I was going to say Breitbart, but I don't know what, like News Nation or whatever. And you're going to get fired if you call the president a prick, but you're also going to go viral. You're also going to get a hell of a lot of support, and you're definitely going to get another job out of it. So I feel like the gamble's not too tough to make.
Yeah, that's true. I could see if you're like a new name on the scene, and if you are positioned as a columnist or, commentator more than you are a flat journalist who's meant to be objective or not opinionated. I can see how that is a tactical benefit to get some coverage, and as you say, you'd be picked up by someone.
I think it's a good point that you make. Like good journalists are neutral, and so they don't. And Caitlin Collins was, just responded, best response ever. She just responded. Clearly, she said, well, I'm not smiling because I'm talking about the survivors of sex trafficking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wish I had the kind of poise in that moment. Like if I worry in that kind of, not worry, but like, I feel like my personality type would be that if someone starts to unleash a tirade at me, I don't know that I would have the clarity or poise in the moment to maintain like a rational response to that. I think my stomach would drop and I would start to like hyperventilate a little bit.
Totally. I was watching that clip and I was filled with rage for her, but I would just love someone to just call Trump a sexist pig to his face the next time he does that and then leave. Or if you're interviewing Trump, wouldn't this be cool? you're interviewing Trump. He just does his usual lies about everything. And then I would just love a journalist to go, all right, you're not going to tell the truth. You end the interview. The journalist ends the interview on the president. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, who was the Australian guy for Axios who did that
Jonathan
sit-down
something.
chat?
That
Jonathan someone? Where he had like the documents and in real time he was able to go like, no, I'm talking about, oh, you're talking about this? No, I'm talking about the... And you're like, you look at the guy and you're like, fuck, yeah, just be that person.
Jonathan Swan.
That's a guy who is... Jonathan Swan.
He was human.
That is a guy who is legitimately a journalist.
Yes.
Who is doing objective reporting, but has the brain switch where he's able to, in real time, be the fact checker or push back on the thing. You see it much more in like British journalism than you do see it in American journalism. So that's why when you have... or even Australian journalism. Like that, if you go on 7:30, you can expect them to push you with questions or hold you to an answer, you know. In American news, that doesn't happen. So seeing a journalist like that sit there in front of Trump and be like, no, you're talking about something else. No, that's not right. No, here's the data. Here, have a look at it. And Trump doesn't know how to handle it. No. He was flustered, you know.
And part of the brilliance of that interview was that he was making kind of faces like bewildered faces.
Like, very like, gifable.
No, that's not true. Like he's all of us. He's Jim in the office. He's the everyman that we see all the crazy through.
But I think Trump kind of liked him. I mean, I don't think I think he sort of respected him a little bit. Like Trump responds to power or to confidence, right? And I think a little bit of him was like, this guy is, you know, he's given me something, you know?
Yeah. You know what, Nick? I'm just going to say it. Trump is a crazy guy, I think.
Okay. That's your second takeaway from today's episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, well, I hope it was cathartic in a way to, you know, vent some of those feelings or listen to us vent them for you. And if you'd like more of that feeling, then listen to another episode. There's plenty more in the feed. And if you have a certain bugbear that you want to address, well, then get in touch with us. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You can send an email to deepfort@gmail.com. You can even pop onto the sound app Spotify and leave a comment in the web form at the bottom where you can type characters and press enter at the bottom of each episode so that we can read it. Michael, have you loaded the fucking app yet?
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Yes.
You were stalling.
I was stalling.
My sincere apologies. Yes, so comment of the week this week is Ben Quaid again.
Hey.
And he said, listening to this episode driving home from the gym.
Well, you've set me up very nicely here. We'll pick that up in 1 second. If I didn't say it, send an email to deepfort@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments, and otherwise your thoughts. And try and be a rational person in the moment and respond like any good journalist. Now, speaking of our friend Ben, we need to touch in. You know, it's been a bit of an ongoing theme this year. We talked about the health journey that he's on, and I have a bit of an update for you, Mikey.
Okay, well, you should say it.
Ben last month ran 126 kilometers.
Get out of town.
Ran 126 kilometers. That is too many kilometers. Ben has also signed up for the gym and is going multiple times a week, as is his wife Fee. I think I speak for both of us when I say, Ben, back the fuck off. Back the fuck off. This is our area. Gym Gab is our section. We have established ourselves as the fitness bros of the pod, and you think you can just saunter in
Very
and run
arrogant.
126
Very
fucking
arrogant
kilometers?
Indeed.
That's more than I can run, Ben. And I think you're pushing it a little bit. Stay in your fucking lane, Ben.
Stay in the left-hand lane, Ben.
Yeah. Congratulations, but also that's enough of this.
It's the risk that we run, Nick, by inspiring people on this podcast, that you get
and
copycats,
being so supportive.
and then soon enough, you know, it goes to their head, and then they start running everywhere.
What's the classical music thing? Is this a Mozart Salieri? What's the analogy here I'm trying to pull?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Mozart and Salieri.
Salary.
The death of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart at the age of 35 was followed by rumours that he and Salieri had been bitter rivals and that Salieri had poisoned the younger composer. However, this had been disproved because the symptoms displayed by Mozart's illness did not indicate poisoning. Well, they didn't have testing like we have today, and I think we can all agree that you come for the king, Ben, you better not miss.
Yes. Speaking of poisoning, you see the Navalny, it got proved that Russia poisoned him with frogs. Frog toxin.
Frogs. Yeah. God, they'll do anything, those sneaky Russians.
Russian about...
Have you got a little bit of an outro for me, Mikey?
No, I don't. I don't have... I've got one rec, but I don't really have anything for you, bud.
I don't have enough recs. Do you have any myths? You say you always have myths. If you don't, I think there's only one sensible choice here, and it's George Clooney, George Clooney news. Watch out for that tree. Oh, you kept it in tune, which I appreciate.
Always,
Michael, can
baby.
you please do me the honours? It's been a little while since we checked in our boy Jake Lou. What's he been up to?
Well, he's in the Epstein files, I know that.
He has been a busy boy.
He's the naughty little Clooney. Look, there's a lot about Cloontaing's house. Cloontaing fires back at Trump. That's a month. It's been a bit quiet on the Clune front.
Oh.
Yeah, his house. There's nothing about his Epstein, though. That's good PR from his publicist.
They're working hard. Yep.
Yeah, so, all right, well, I'll just click on this one. George Clooney's £10 million Berkshire estate suffers severe flood damage. George Clooney's Riverside estate in Berkshire was impacted by flooding as the Thames swelled beyond capacity after weeks of rain. And they've been heavily affected. And their garden and tennis court were soaked.
Soaked. And famously, garden and plants, they don't like water.
No, it's going to make tennis
tough.
a lot more difficult as well.
Do you reckon if you're George Clooney and
not.
you're outside and you're sloshing around on the tennis court, maybe you wanted a hit of balls, do you think when you come back inside, if you've got wet shoes, are you binning them or are you leaving them to dry? I mean this sincerely. Like, if you're that rich at a certain point, does the hassle of like having wet shoes that you're not going to wear those out in public ever again, and you have to have something that looks nice when you're out in public because you're being photographed anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you think that a wet shoe is a bin shoe?
I think he does. You know what? I think he views everything as like an espresso pod, and he just like bins it immediately after. I mean, I would. I honestly would. I mean, I don't value many things. Like my AirPods, right? It's probably my favorite thing that I've bought ever. It's been a great purchase, and I constantly think to myself, this was such a great purchase. But even then, I mean, I wear them in the shower sometimes, if I'm not wetting my hair. And if I'm listening to a pod and I'm coming home from the gym and I'm not needing to wet my hair, I'll just bring them in the shower with me. I don't care.
Okay, really?
Yeah, man. I need to keep the vibe going. If I'm listening to a good pod, I need to keep the vibe going into the shower, even if it means I'm going to have to buy new AirPods in a week.
Why not just why don't you just put the phone there and put it on speaker?
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it's all vibes. It's all vibes with me,
You're a vibes-based guy.
I hate breaking a vibe. I hate when you got a nicely dim lit room and someone turns on a light. It's the same feeling. I value vibes, not things.
Can I tell you a confession here? If I was a billionaire, I think my one luxury would be new socks every week.
New
I
socks.
just want an endless supply of fresh socks, just brand new store bought, because there's nothing quite as soft as a new sock. And I know that's wasteful, and maybe you can donate them after they've had a single wear, and they can go to a charity or whatever. But there's just
There's nothing
denying.
like it. There's nothing like
You
it.
give a couple of washes to a sock, it'll still be okay, but it's not pristine like a brand new sock.
calcified. It's it's
Yeah.
haunted by things. I bought a 3-pack of some lovely white socks the other day, Nick, and I put them on, and I was like, my God,
On your feet.
You silly goose, you silly boy. Yeah, my feet. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and there's one pair that's still haven't
Untouched.
because I want to save the feeling.
Save it. Yeah, you want to save it.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I don't think we can go out on a better high than that.
we've covered a lot of ground here today.
We have.
What do we start?
I'm proud of it.
We started with
There was a lot of penis stuff.
kidnapping, penises, Winter Olympics, ended on
AI
socks.
and end on penises and socks. Yeah.
This is a great show, everyone. This is a fantastic program that we run here. We really do.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Well done to you.